The avoidant has processed enough time and distance to recognize what they lost. They miss you. They regret how they handled things. They have thought through scenarios of reconnection countless times. The desire to get you back is genuine and often consuming. But despite this longing, despite the clarity they have gained about their mistake, they remain completely silent. They are not reaching out. They are not initiating contact. They are not taking any action toward the reconciliation they claim to want. This is not because the desire is not real. It is because the avoidant is waiting. They want you back, but they are expecting you to do something first. And until you do, they will remain frozen in this state of wanting without acting. They expect you to reach out first. The avoidant wants you back, but cannot bring themselves to be the one who initiates contact. Reaching out first would require them to admit they need you, that they were affected by the separation, that they cannot maintain their facade of indifference. This level of vulnerability is psychologically unbearable for someone whose entire identity is built on emotional self-sufficiency. So they wait. They hope you will be the one to break the silence, to send the text, to create the opening for conversation. If you reach out first, they can respond without having to expose themselves. They can engage without having to admit they wanted to engage. They can reconnect without having to take responsibility for initiating reconnection. The avoidant is essentially expecting you to do the vulnerable work they are too afraid to do themselves, hoping that your willingness to reach out will save them from having to risk rejection by reaching out to you. They expect you to prove you still care. Before the avoidant will consider coming back, they need reassurance that you still want them, that the door is still open, that they have not been replaced or forgotten. This expectation is fundamentally unfair because it places all the emotional risk on you while allowing them to remain protected. But the avoidant cannot move forward without this confirmation. They are too afraid of reaching out only to discover you have moved on, that their patterns finally pushed you past the point of caring, so they wait for you to demonstrate continued interest. A like on their social media, a comment on something they posted, a message asking how they are, any signal that suggests you are still thinking about them. That reconnection is possible, that their delayed processing has not cost them their chance. The avoidant wants you back but needs you to prove it is safe to want you back before they will allow themselves to act on that desire. They expect you to do the work of rebuilding. The avoidant wants you back but has no intention of doing the heavy lifting required to repair what their patterns broke. They expect you to be understanding of their fear, patient with their process, willing to meet them where they are rather than where you need them to be. They want to come back to a situation where they are welcomed without question, where the past is not examined too closely, where they can re-enter the relationship without having to address the patterns that caused the separation in the first place. This expectation reveals that while the avoidant may want you back, they do not want to change. They want the comfort of your presence without the discomfort of genuine accountability. They are waiting for you to make it easy for them to return, to remove all the barriers they themselves created, to do the emotional labor they are unwilling to engage in. They expect you to accept them, unchanged. Perhaps most importantly, the avoidant wants you back, but expects you to take them exactly as they are. They have not done therapy. They have not addressed their attachment wounds. They have not developed new tools for managing intimacy. They are the same person with the same patterns, and they are expecting you to be okay with that. The wanting you back is not accompanied by genuine commitment to transformation. It is simply longing for what was comfortable about the relationship, without willingness to change what was destructive. The avoidant is waiting for you to signal that you will accept them without growth, that your standards have not increased, that they can return to business as usual. This expectation is why their silence persists, even as their desire grows. They want you back on their terms, and those terms require you to do all the work of initiating, reassuring, rebuilding, and accepting, while they contribute nothing but their presence. Why this dynamic is designed to fail. The avoidant wants you back, but their expectations guarantee failure. If you do reach out first, if you do prove you still care, if you do make it easy for them to return, you teach them that their patterns have no consequences. You confirm that they can leave, process on their own timeline, and come back to you waiting whenever they are ready. This dynamic creates no incentive for change and ensures the pattern will repeat. But if you do not reach out, if you maintain your boundaries and refuse to do the work they should be doing, the avoidant will likely interpret your silence as rejection and never attempt reconnection. Either way, the relationship remains broken because the avoidant wants you back, but only if getting you back requires nothing of them. And healthy relationships cannot be built on such fundamentally unequal terms.